Hey sports fan. Today's topic is not super fun, but I think it is something that affects all of us, especially people who are chronically online, like myself, and that is the dreaded reading slump. I've mentioned kind of briefly here and there that I felt like I was falling into a reading slump. I definitely hit full on slump lord in June. I only finished one book in June, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I finished that book in the first week of June. So, for 4 weeks, I just didn't really read anything. I would look at my books and not pick them up. I have two arcs that I need to be reading on my Kindle. One of them I'm almost done with, but the second I haven't even started. I kind of just would look at them and do something else. When I'm in the car, I've been listening to podcasts or just music and not listening to audiobooks. And there's not really a reason. I just haven't felt the desire. I haven't felt passionate about this hobby. I haven't felt motivated to read. And the worst thing, for me at least, about a reading slump is I don't really understand it. I definitely am the type who I want to understand why something is happening, and usually I can just look it up and do some reading and have an answer. But when it comes to my own mind and losing like the zeal for something that I know that I enjoy, there's not an explanation. There's not anything that I can just Google and look at it and say, "Oh, that's, that's the answer. I've been drinking too much caffeine. If I drink less caffeine, I'll read more books." It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Not really understanding why I have no motivation is very frustrating. It does kind of become cyclical where I become frustrated that I'm not motivated, and then my frustration makes me pull away even more. So, like, instead of just picking up a book and reading it, I associate it with that sense of like frustration and kind of failure and defeat. That feeling makes me less likely to pick up another book. Does that make sense? So it feels very like cyclical, very destructive. I want to blame, outside reasons. Basically, all summer has been busy. My birthday is in the end of spring, and my daughter's birthday is in midsummer. So we're getting ready for her birthday. And then there's like 4th of July. We've had a lot of family events, friend events. I'm I am 20 weeks pregnant right now, and that has definitely taken a toll on like my energy, my motivation. I'm trying to kind of restructure how I take care of our home without getting too far into it. I don't work outside of the home. I am a housewife and stay-at-home mom. I started implementing a couple of new habits. I've been trying to do more every single day as far as like work goes in the house. I want to say that that takes time away from reading, and it kind of does. But realistically, I could have a headphone in when I'm folding laundry, and I could be listening to an audiobook. I could be reading during my daughter's naps. She takes one nap every day, usually for about 2 hours. I mean, I read physically pretty quickly. I could be reading every single day, and I haven't. I will have a snack and like watch an episode of a television show. Some days I just take a nap. I take a nap when she takes a nap because I've been feeling so tired. And that is kind of weighing on me where even when I'm sitting down to relax, I'm not really prioritizing picking up books and reading. I think I've been scrolling a lot on my phone, which is yucky. It's not good for your brain to scroll for long periods of time. I know that nobody likes to hear that, but also we all know it's true. It's not good for us. Another thing that I've been doing instead of reading is almost every night for the past probably 6 weeks, my husband and I have been playing Brotato. And it sounds crazy to spend that much time playing this game, but if you've played it, then you know it is so addicting. It's like a top-down game where you are a potato and there are various types of potatoes. They all have different like strengths and weaknesses. So you're a potato that is landing on like an alien planet and you just wildly hit these aliens and try to kill them. As you level up, you get different status upgrades, and then you can go into the shop and buy items that give you different status upgrades. It's so much fun. My husband and I really enjoy it. It is kind of like, it's kind of math, but it's also kind of mindless. It's very silly. It's like just hanging out with your best friend, which, I mean, my husband is probably my best friend. That is another thing that I've just been doing instead of reading for a while, for a long time. My husband would like play a video game or he would do something. Sometimes he's doing like work, like actual work, his work, and I would sit and just read. For a long time, that's how we were ending our nights, was me reading and him doing whatever. That is easily like 2 to 2.5 hours of solid reading every single night. And like I said, reading physically, I read pretty quickly. I would say I read at a moderate pace. I read about a page a minute, just depending on how challenging the work is that I'm reading. Sometimes when I read things that are much easier to read, it goes much, much faster. Usually something that is older, I will read a little bit slower because I think for me personally, it takes a little bit more processing power to read things that are written in like an older style. Contemporary work is very easy to read very quickly. Oh my God. Can I go off on a tangent on a tangent? Pregnancy steals my words and my focus. I have found it impossible to stay on topic. That's why these videos have become so rambly and insane lately, is because being pregnant, it actually like dissects my lexicon. I'm almost certain there's like a little lexicon in my brain, and being pregnant is like pouring oil all over the pages of my lexicon. I cannot recall words. I'm constantly forgetting words. The other thing is I cannot stay on topic. I cannot stay focused. I just ramble and I go on these tangents. So I appreciate you coming on that journey with me to complain about pregnancy for a second. Let's bring it back. Let's rein it in. We're talking about reading slumps. It's easy for me to say I've been very busy. I've been prioritizing housework. I've been prioritizing quality time with my husband. I've been spending more time with family and going to these events and like having a lot of stuff going on. It's easy to say that that is why I haven't been reading, but if I'm being completely honest with you and with myself, I've had ample opportunity to pick up a book and read, and I just haven't been doing it. Because I'm not reading, I'm not setting up my camera and filming because I have nothing to talk about. I started up this YouTube channel because I wanted so badly to talk to people about books. I wanted to connect with other people about the books that I love. I wanted to like ramble and chat about them and have like really engaging and fulfilling conversations. I have had some good conversations. I have discovered other people on this platform who are so cool and I just like want to be friends with, but I don't want to come on too strong like the creep that I am, looking at you, Nozomi Reads and She the Geek. But I have enjoyed having this channel and making these videos, and then I just haven't been reading, and it makes me feel like simultaneously ashamed and embarrassed because it's like walking into a room and demanding that people talk to you, and then when somebody does talk to you, saying, I don't have anything to talk about. That's how I feel. Like I entered into this space and I want to engage with people, and then I haven't been doing the one thing that I have to do to engage on this channel. I haven't been reading. So it just feels like, I don't know, I feel kind of like an asshole. But I know it's not forever, and I know that I will like come out of it, and I will get back into reading and talking to you guys about what I'm reading and just enjoying the hobby again. I'm just trying to be patient with myself. I'm trying to give myself the time and the space to get back into it in kind of like a more organic, natural way instead of forcing myself into it. So I'm just easing back into the hobby because I don't want to force it. I don't want to hold myself to a standard that I know I can't meet. And I don't want it to become work. There's cat hair flying everywhere. A little deep lore about myself. I I went to college straight out of high school, which was a mistake. My first 3 semesters of college before I flunked out, my major was lit. It made me hate reading and writing in a way that I have had never experienced before and have never experienced since. These were things that I had been passionate about for a long time. I read so many books and wrote so many papers, and I was doing so much research and having to write about like the author's stage of life and how it affected their work, that it just got to be something that I didn't enjoy at all. It wasn't just work, it was like punishment. I just don't ever want to experience that again. After college, my first stint in college, the second time I went to college, I got 2 degrees. So, like, I'm not a complete idiot. I was young. I went for the wrong reasons. I worked 2 full-time jobs and was supporting my household on my own. So, like, if you guys want to hear about what a terrible mom I had growing up, we could talk about that in a different video. But I needed to go to school to take out loans because my 2 incomes were not enough to support my adult mother and myself. But anyway, after my first stint in college, like after flunking out, I I don't think I read a book for like 2 or 3 years. I had completely lost my passion for it. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed anymore. I think it took me a really long time to get back to a place where I just really enjoyed reading again for the sake of reading. I don't ever want it to feel like this is a job. I don't want my livelihood to rely on how much I'm reading. I don't want it to be another thing that I have to do. I want it to always be something that I want to do. And that is also a struggle with the slump, is making sure that something that is supposed to be a hobby, something that's supposed to be like really fulfilling, is not turning into something that is just another task. And as soon as it starts to feel like work, I will probably pull away. I'm so sorry that I keep rambling and getting entirely off point. Um, what I'm trying to come back to is the slump sucks and getting out of it sucks. And I'm not going to force myself out of it because I think that for me and my personality and the way that I respond to things, any amount of force or pressure is not going to work. I think that I have to ease back into it. I have to kind of lure myself out of the slump, maybe like coerce myself back in by being enticed by things that I really want to read and things that get me really excited about reading. That's kind of where I'm at. I have a very loose August TBR. It is currently mid-July, so I am not holding myself to any strict rules or expectations. I am just letting myself ease back into things and kind of letting things happen organically. And if that means that the slump lasts another month, then it lasts another month and I will find other things to talk about. I do want to make sure that I am still coming on here and talking about something, even if it's just updates on how my reading slump is going. I do have some things filmed and I will get to work on editing those and putting them out. And I do have something that I want to talk about, but I'm also like afraid to talk about it. Right after I finished all of the jailbreak nonsense, my husband, I don't even know if he was like trolling me or what, but he bought me it's just an e-reader. He bought me an e-reader that is very cheap, very simple to use, very user friendly, very small, very cute, very demure. And I actually love it. I kind of want to talk about it with you guys because it it sort of relates to the Kindle thing and the jailbreak thing, but like not really. I don't really want to deal with like the amount of hate and vitriol that I got from the jailbreak videos all over again. I'm still getting hate comments of people making like weird racist comments and calling me stupid, basically. Not basically, they outright calling me dumb. I don't want to be on here and be like, oh, boo-hoo, poor me, my feelings, because I'm not really like hurt by it. It's just annoying. I don't know if I want to open myself up to another like slew of hate if I talk about this e-reader that I actually really like. I might do it anyway. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. Who knows? Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I am dumb. Could be. I don't know. If you've made it this far through all of my rambling and ranting and side tangents and tangents on tangents, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. And if you have any advice for getting out of a reading slump, or maybe if you have suggestions, if you have books that got you out of a slump and like saved your reading life, please let me know. Please, please, please let me know. Or if you have like techniques or tips on how to create reading time in your day. I've toyed with the idea of getting up very early and giving myself like an hour first thing in the morning before anybody else in my house is awake. And I did that for like a week where I was trying to get up at about 5:30 and it was just such a struggle that I wasn't enjoying it. I don't think waking up super early is something that's really feasible for me right now. It definitely won't be feasible when I have a newborn. You know, maybe in another year, that's something I can look at. So if you have tips, tricks, advice, experiences with getting out of a reading slump and getting back into like the passion of the hobby, let me know. Please share that information with me. I really want to get back to where I was reading like 4 books a month, 5 books a month, and like loving every minute of it. Thank you so much for hanging out.